Welcome to Daily Steps from One Extraordinary Marriage, where we outline simple steps that you can take to have the ultimate marriage adventure. I'm Tony DeLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. In today's show, we answer the question, how do I handle my wife's feelings around her lack of arousal?
This husband goes on to say, we are both almost 40 years old and my beautiful wife is a darn good mother, busy, but can only handle so much. We have fun together, watch movies and shows on a Friday night, but other than that, she goes to bed at the same time as our 3 preteen kids because she's exhausted. Due to how she's made, her cycle and medication that she's on in life in general, she'd probably prefer sex once a month, soon after her period when she becomes more aroused. But she's a willing partner, just doesn't feel that level of arousal. And, I can totally appreciate just the challenge that this couple is facing. It's so significant to me that this husband has such a level, a depth of love for his wife, that he recognizes that she's having these feelings of just being sad and disappointed. And how do I deal with this? Because I am a willing partner, but I just don't feel it. Right? And first of all, thank you for being that kind of husband. That isn't like jumping all over her and isn't like, oh my gosh, like just take care of yourself, but to really actively seek it. And, it's definitely important to look behind what's going on, right? On the surface level, there's no arousal or very little. And to start digging deep, really getting into what is going on here. One of the things that he mentions is that she is on medication. And little known side effect that shows up in virtually every drug pamphlet that you read is that most medications have an impact on sexual arousal. Doctors don't talk about it necessarily in the doctor's office. It doesn't come up. Most of us feel embarrassed to talk about it with our doctors if we're feeling this way, but that might be a conversation to have with our doctors.
To see if the medication is suppressing that arousal. I mean, for others, is it a psychological area that you need to address or she needs to address? Is there unspoken resentment? That's a great one because I feel like many of the times when resentment gets built up in our marriage, other things, again, get suppressed or pushed aside. And if it's done for long enough and for a longer period of time, we as humans tend to feel like that has become our new normal.
Right. That this is where we're living. It may even be a case where something happened to her years and years ago in regard to sexual intimacy, and that has put a cap or a ceiling on, what she allows herself to feel. Right. And so addressing those things, looking at that, it may be that it's time for the two of you to have a conversation again on what does romance look like in your marriage? What does it mean to the two of you? And how may romance impact the level of arousal, right? It could just be, when I read that she's busy and she's, you've got 3 preteen kids and I know what that looks like. We only have 2. Well, we have 2 teenagers now, but I remember when they were preteens and you're running here, there, and everywhere. And it's even looking at what does your life look like together to even give her windows of downtime. I was talking to coaching clients the other day and the wife is more introverted. And so when she goes from, get up with the kids, run all day at work, come home, pick up the kids, do dinner, do bath time, do bed, and then, get ready for the next day, she simply doesn't have a lot to give. And so one of the strategies that we were talking about is where is that pocket of time where she can just have some downtime to literally recharge her batteries. It's like when we get that blinking or the red bar on our phones, or it pops up and it's like, you've got 20% left. Figuring out how to, in your marriage, plug her in to something that rejuvenates her so that she can have that rest and restoration to be able to be in that place of going, okay, how can I create arousal? It may even be finding, and I don't know how long this couple's been married, but it may be going back to sex ed, right? Sex ed 101. What works now?
And I think here's one of the big things I see here as well, implementing the intimacy lifestyle, because that brings up that conversation. And I will say, as we've gotten older, Elisa and I ourselves, there are many a times, even me personally, that I don't have this massive arousal like I did when I was in my 20s. I'm in my mid 40s now. And yet with the intimacy lifestyle, that really sets the criteria around our sexual intimacy. So since I'm not like I used to be, because testosterone starts to decrease for us men as we do get older, I have a framework that Elisa and I work around that we both know that allows me to get aroused, because I can get myself into that state of mind and going, oh, right, you know what? Tonight is my night to initiate. Here she is initiating. Let me get in that frame of mind so that way I can be intimate with Elisa. There's a number of different things here, and I think you need to start addressing each one, looking at each one, tackling one together, see if it works. Start the intimacy lifestyle. Does that work? And if so, what's really working? Is it the medication? Find out about that medication. Is it ways that you can, adjust her schedule so that way she isn't as impacted with kids and running around? That's a big one, because sometimes moms don't want to let go of those things. And I get that. There are times when I'm just like, Elisa, it's okay. I will drive the kids. I'll take care of what needs to happen right now. You just take some rest. So there are a number of different places, but don't give up. Keep looking, keep assessing. Where is it? And it sounds like she is a woman and a wife who's willing to do that with you. So go after it. Do that together. To learn more about this topic, check out oneextraordinarymarriage.com/430.